And welcome back to another episode of Everyman Driver, where, as you know, we post new videos to YouTube every day, Monday through Friday. Just click on that subscribe button to receive updates on our new video uploads.
This week, we're reviewing the pristine, the gorgeous 2013 Volkswagen Passat 3.6 SE and the 2013 Honda Accord Sport.
Can you tell who likes which car? Because pristine, I think that's pretty generous for this metallic glacier blue vehicle you have over here, whereas you have the beautiful, the lovely, the Honda Accord in dark gray metallic. This is the better car, by the way.
This is a Gatorade flavor. This is how good this car is.
So you say. So coming up on this episode, we're going to take these boys for a ride. We're going to learn about how their engine and performance works in comparison to each other.
We'll go over the ride and handling characteristics, even take them out in this snowy weather. And finally, we'll let you know which car each of us would buy on the Everyman Driver ownership scale and which one is the best car overall.
I think we know the answer. Over here. Everyman Driver starts now.
The 2013 Passat Bossa 3.6 liter V6 that produces 280 horsepower with 265 foot-pounds of torque. This is the VR6 engine that we've seen in Rabbits and GTIs forever, and quite frankly, it's a pretty nice engine. One neat feature is that everything you need to check in the engine, like this dipstick here, is actually coated orange, so it's easy to see.
As far as fuel economy, the Volkswagen Passat for 2013 gets an estimated 20 miles per gallon in the city and 28 on the highway. I've been getting right there in the middle, about 24, 25 in mixed driving. The thing to know about this vehicle, though, V6 is not the only engine type. There's also a diesel version.
Yeah, there is a four-cylinder, but the turbo diesel is absolutely the way to go on this Passat. You get 251 foot-pounds of torque, awesome fuel economy, and even though diesel is anywhere from 50 to 80 cents more expensive here in the US, the gas mileage numbers that you're going to get more than make up for that cost. The engine in the new Accord Sport is a four-cylinder with the VTEC that produces 189 horsepower with 182 foot-pounds of torque. Now, the one thing I haven't seen is this says Earth Dreams technology. Not sure what that is. I do know a Lamborghini has Wet Dreams technology.
The Accord, nice one, Alex. The Accord comes with a CVT, which is a phrase or term not a lot of people like because of the way it sounds, but it does mean good fuel economy for the most part. In fact, the EPA on this one is 26 miles per gallon in the city and 35 on the highway. I've been getting in the upper 20s in terms of gas mileage, so I'm very happy with this for what you're getting in terms of how much it costs.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. You can upgrade to the V6 with the upper trim levels. Obviously, you're going to get more power, but you're going to suffer a bit at the pump.
Steering wise, a little bit heavier than we'd like.
Yeah.
Overall, it's a pretty nice ride, but for me, unimpressive. Front wheel drive, I don't think we've had a real good chance to utilize this car because the weather right now is just crummy. Too snowy, too icy, so getting around, this is not the best car for it.
No, it's not. It
should be with front wheel drive, right?
It should be better, although this car, has a pair of reasonable all seasons on it. We do like the engine. The engine's got plenty of pep, which is good. It's smooth. But the driving experience overall is honestly exactly what you'd expect from just essentially a mid-level sedan. It's nice, it's fine. There isn't anything particularly confidence-inspiring about it, but at the same time, I don't see anything that's really too bad about it. I would say pretty comparable with an Accord or, a Nissan Altima, something like that.
And you know already that I don't like this car so much.
Yeah.
I think it's boring. I mean, I love how much space there's on the inside. I love the trunk space, but looking on the inside here, this is just a boring, plain looking car. I had a Passat maybe 10 years ago, and this is nothing like that. They've really done a makeover on it. But to me, it's too much like every other car, every other sedan.
See, and I disagree. And the reason that I say that is that, first of all, it is the only German coming in this category, and it feels very German. And anybody that watches Everyman Driver knows I have a German bias, but I just think everything on this car, some people see it as plain. I see it as precise, as very orderly. There's nothing about this car that I look at and bugs me right away. And that's important to me.
It's got no personality. If you didn't see the VW on here, you had no idea what car this was. It's plain Jane.
I can see where somebody would think that. I disagree.
Okay.
And second of all, my girlfriend's named Jane. So.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to offend.
Volkswagens are a bit of an acquired taste. You either seem to like them or you don't. I like this. I think the interior is so much more upscale and elegant, although it is simple, than most of the competition out there. It certainly feels German. If you like an import feel, you're going to want to look somewhere else.
Let's see how the Passat, though, compares to the Honda Accord. So we're talking ride and handling inside the Honda Accord Sport, and I got no complaints. I feel like the steering's responsive, it's an easy drive. Even though it's 189 horsepower, I feel like I got plenty of power once I hit the accelerator. So I don't have anything bad to say about it, but I'm sure you do.
Well, the steering to me felt a little electric. It felt a little power assisted. A lot of my automotive friends might disagree, you included. I wasn't crazy about the steering. The engine, I do agree. I think in this car, the 4 cylinders got enough power for everything you need. I don't think for an extra $2 or $3 grand, the V6 is really going to be worth it. From a driving standpoint, especially for sort of just a mid-level businessman sedan, really pretty darn good.
This is businessman sedan. I think that's a great way to describe this. It's a classy car. I mean, you take someone in this car, you're not going to be embarrassed whatsoever.
No.
You're going to feel like you're doing the right thing. And I love it. I mean, I have really no complaints about this. I'm going to tell you a little bit later why I think this is a great car for myself, and I'll give you my rating here in a little while. Let's talk about the interior here, because I think Honda has it down. I'm a big fan. I think this is not perfect, but I love how large this display is here. It's underneath a small hood. The instrument panel in front of me is fine. I got the 3 screens, nothing too confusing. Very simple, easy to understand. What?
The interior is fine. I like this interior, but I'm also 26 years old and an enormous idiot. So essentially, if this is a businessman sedan, I see this as an 18-year-old's interior in a car that a 40-year-old businessman is going to buy, especially the instrument panel, as we look at some very pretty deer, even some big bucks, the Great Northwest. The instrument panel especially just looks way too kind of high-techy, futuristic tuner for a guy that, works at Charles Schwab and is 40 years old. The rest of the interior I do like. The screen is big, nice sun shield on the screen. It's still just a little importy, techy for my personal taste, but overall, they did a pretty good job with the interior, and I do like the seats too. Hey guys, make sure to comment on YouTube and let us know what you think about the interior of this car and essentially everything that we're talking about. Let's show everybody that, Dave is kind of old and out of touch.
One thing I'm surprised at, there's no sunroof.
I'm glad that you mentioned that, because one of the first things I noticed when I got in this car is that there is no sunroof. Now, this is the sport model, which is the second to bottom model. So it doesn't surprise me that there's not a sunroof, but once you get used to one, once they take it away, even if it's not open, it's a big difference.
So on the Everyman driver ownership scale of 0 to 72 months, Alex, how many months would you recommend this vehicle for?
I'm going to give this 60 out of 72 months, which is my highest rating ever on Everyman driver. I love this car. For what it's supposed to be, which is essentially a family sedan, I think it's wonderful. Rear leg room and trunk space is awesome for the kids or the golf clubs. The interior is simple, but I find it refined, easy to use. And again, the body style, while it may be a little blah, I still think it's nice, and you're getting a lot of car for under 30 grand.
I don't think you're getting enough car. I think it's too expensive for what you're getting. I think besides the color, which everyone can change the colors, I like the color, I like the interior space, the trunk space is fantastic, but it's boring. It's just plain, and I think you can get more car for less money, and I don't think this is the car that I would choose. Yes, it's great for that you know, an early family, because you can get 3 people in the back, no problem, plenty of car seats. But I'm gonna give it 36 months. I'm not a big fan.
Hello? No, yeah, I know he's an idiot. No, don't worry. I like the Passat too. Okay, we'll talk to you later. Bye.
And that
Sorry, go ahead.
And that was who?
That was my mom.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, so on the Everyman driver ownership scale, what are you going to give it?
Well, you know what I'm going to give it. Actually, I would give this car 60 to 72 months, because I would see this car as a complement for my family, to the SUV in the family. So if I were to have 2 cars that have more of a SUV type of vehicle, and this would be my other daily driver. So definitely, it's a 60 to 72 month buy.
He loves it. I'm going to give this car 54 months.
You got to stay in multiples of 12, my man.
54 months. I can't rake it quite as high as, say, the Passat we tested earlier, simply because I liked the German Euro feel as opposed to this, which definitely has more of an import feel. But you made a believer out of me with this car. The trunk space is awesome, leg room is excellent, and depending on your personal preference, you're going to absolutely love the dash. Lots of features, and at under 25 grand, you're absolutely right. You just can't go wrong with this car. Honda is back. They've lost their way in recent years. With this car, Honda is back.
I think you've given a nod. You have christened the Honda.
I have christened the Honda. You can now, I give you permission to go out and buy one.
All right.
Okay, Dave, so to bring this thing full circle, although there's been a lot of banter back and forth between the German Passat, the Japanese Accord, I truly think they're both actually really stellar cars. For me, it comes down to personal preference. I like the cleanness, the
simplicity,
the great word, of the Passat over the Accord, but truth be told, I'd take either one.
I think you get a lot of car, a lot of value for what this one, the price point is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cheaper than this one. It gets better gas mileage than the Volkswagen, although I know when you compare them engine for engine, they're almost identical.
Yeah, this one still is, you know, probably a grand or 2 more. Another huge shout out to the Passat is that it is made in Tennessee in the United States, not in Tokyo or wherever that's made.
Well, I'm going to prefer the interior and how it's laid out for the Honda. I think it just, even at this level, it's very luxurious on the inside, in my opinion. This one, too plain Jane. Pay the extra money to get the navigation and the upgrades. Otherwise, go for this one right here. Agree?
I'm with you.
Or disagree?
No, I actually agree with you on this one. I'd love to disagree, but you're pretty good.
All right. Well, that'll wrap it up for this this comparison between the 2013 Honda Accord Sport and the 2013 Volkswagen Passat SE. In front of Alex LaFries, I'm Dave Erickson. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.